Hammer News Team.
3/4 of American STEM students can't find employment after college.
And now, introducing your host, Randy Tobler.
Just made a great settlement of the war with Iran, and we're going to be subject to finalization of documents, which should get done over the next few days. Probably have a signing maybe in Europe, and it's a great thing. Stock market's up 1,000 points.
Well, that was President Trump yesterday after he called off what was planned to be a huge attack. We talked a little bit about it as we were leaving the air yesterday, that he was going to bomb Karg Island, take over the military, bomb the military ports and really go after it. And then apparently there was a breakthrough, and the Iranian foreign ministry is saying there isn't a breakthrough, but we can't believe a thing that they say. So we don't know what the short timeline is on this. And where we are, nobody knows. Round and round she goes. But we know you're here on a Feel Good Friday. So is Jennifer Bukowski in for Stephanie today. John Marsh is feeling good. I know, right, John? You feeling good? Yeah.
Here, sir.
Yes, sir. And Drake, feeling good?
I hate that you spring this on me while I'm trying to do work right now. No,
oh,
I'm
you're
not
trying to do work now.
Yeah, no, I don't feel good.
Oh, I know you don't. Right, fighting a little cold.
No.
Little sore throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish
but
I had
you're here,
so
answering the bell.
Randy.
You didn't call in sick. You answered the bell. That's integrity. That's a great work ethic. That's what made this country great on the 250th birthday of our country.
That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean,
well,
you didn't call in sick.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
There you go. That's
Typhoid Mary over there. I better not come down with anything. I know who to blame.
I know.
The exit is open.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No,
I was so surprised.
Oh.
I missed it. And I'm like, it's been a beautiful exit.
I missed it.
They've had the exit that is closest to the radio station off the highway closed for months now. And I've been looking at it for weeks. I'm like, that looks done. I think I could drive my car if they just moved those road closed signs. And then today,
I have to admit,
it was too late for me to take that beautiful, pristine exit.
I have to admit, I was listening to I was honoring the email we had yesterday that said it wouldn't be until the 22nd.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. The end
and
of
now
the
it's
month.
open, huh? I didn't know that.
That's what it looked like. It looked like they removed those road closed signs when I drove by, but I
How
didn't
awesome.
see it. I'm in such a habit of having to go an extra exit and then wind back around. I missed it.
Well, thank you, Department of Transportation, for getting that one done. That'll be a good thing and a nice, pristine.
Now wait, I hope I'm not wrong about that, but it looked like it was open.
But you know who's not feeling good about this and other road repairs? You know who's not feeling good?
Who?
The people that do suspension repair.
Yeah.
The ball joint guys. I've eaten up more balls. The tire guys. I'm sorry,
and
tire
girls.
guys. I know you're not feeling good. We'll try to make it a feel good Friday for you somehow. I'll try to.
Sort of like the body shop guys during the buck rut.
I know. I'll have to. I'll have to find some other. They're plentiful. Some potholes and crusty roads around that are all.
I was about to say, there's enough places around Columbia.
Like washboard roads, yeah. Work on that.
It is really funny that I was talking with Brian Hauswirth, and he was saying that he was given 2 separate dates on when this exit would open.
Yes.
Neither of which were today. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm going to go. I kind of want to go on the commercial break and make sure to double check my facts now. Can we send our news guy out to check that for me so I'm not spreading fake news?
We need to send Brian out for
Brian
that.
Hauswirth, are you listening?
And today, Paraguay and Merca in the first of our matches, right?
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. We'll have to see where that all goes. I'm hoping that indeed it will be a stunning victory. And I guess we're supposed to have, this is supposed to be sort of a golden team, right? It's supposed to be a big, these guys have played in the World Cup before, but I guess not together as a team, or I don't know. There's supposed to be something magic. If you know more about the magic, share that with us, 573-874-9390. Or 800-529-5572. I'd like to understand that. I'm not a big soccer aficionado. My son is like crazy. Spent a year in Europe, so he's like addicted to soccer.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, come on, Drake. Don't be a poopy pants. Don't be a poopy pants. Soccer's good, right?
The most entertaining thing about this is the Europeans' reactions to it.
Yeah. I was just going to say that, yeah.
Well, I mean, the Iraqi national team is in West Virginia. Like, there's all just in weird places that you'd never expect. So, Iraq is experiencing the Appalachian Mountains and what all goes down there. So hopefully we never go to war with them.
Well, Algeria is in Lawrence, Kansas, and the Kansas band came and played their anthem, and they're all so happy that they're so welcomed there by the residents of Lawrence. That's where they decided to stay for their training.
It's interesting. It's going to be all across North America, Mexico, Canada, United States. So it's not just the U.S. That's interesting. And I guess in the opening one, Mexico started with a 2-0 win against South Africa. So, that'll be good. Apparently, though, there were some empty seats, though. So maybe, I don't know what it's going to be. Have we heard any reporting from Kansas City as far as how they're doing with pre-sales and ticket sales and hotel tickets and, hotel reservations? I don't know. I haven't heard.
I know early on they had a lot of hotel reservations in the public safety community, early on geared up to deal with the crush of fans and potential medical issues. And now I know they put out cautions to the World Cup fans for Kansas City because of the heat and humidity.
Really? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's going to be a scorcher.
And public safety officials are even looking at not only Columbia, but Jefferson City as potential overflow points to be advised of people looking for hotel rooms.
Well, I think Drake, since Drake's been on this journey for, romance and love, I thought that Drake might have been at the opening ceremony to hear this. Shakira!
Hips don't lie.
Shakira!
Look at that. Look at the moving and grooving, man. Come on, Drake. Come on. No?
I should take the show off air after that one.
I like it.
Please, everyone go onto the YouTube and watch Randy do his stupid little dance.
Come on. What's wrong with that?
It's the whitest
It's a
dance
Happy
I've
Friday.
ever seen.
Trump, what did you just say?
You need to remember what day of the week it is.
What'd you just say?
What? That you did the stupid little white guy dance?
Oh, come on now.
No, I like Shakira. I'm not saying that she's a bad artist or anything.
I was asked to be in the dance line, but I couldn't make it. I had to be here.
I was just forced to watch you dance at 6:15 in the morning.
Jen, if you were asked to be in how these big, like at the Super Bowl, you see thousands, and all those people aren't professional dancers. A lot of them are amateurs, they're kids, they're adults that are, whatever. I don't know how they're connected. If you were asked to be in a big production like that on the field of a major sporting event, would you do it?
No. I would happily speak to the entire audience before I would dance. I did Dancing with the Missouri Stars one year, and this is before everyone videotaped everything. It's 2012 or something, 2011. And I saw the video of it, and I did this at the Hearn Center in front of all of Columbia.
So
and I saw the video afterwards. Yeah. It didn't look anything like I did in my head.
Really?
I've only watched it once, and I'm like, oh my God, that's what I look like.
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
John? Do it?
Yeah, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
I would.
John?
No.
I got to say that Shakira's right up Randy's alley with all the salsa brass and all of her
I love
songs.
salsa.
And Hips
I love
Don't
salsa.
Lie. And trumpets.
I think there's a ballroom dancing thing down. We've got some friends at church that they're really almost professional dancers. They go to all these competitions and stuff. Well, I would call them that. But they do ballroom dance. You can go down to Jefferson City and learn ballroom dancing. I think in Columbia too.
Yep, you've got it here.
I want to do that tango. I love the tango. That's a great dance. Yeah, that's a romantic dance. Yeah.
I still haven't gotten over you saying that all the people that dance at the Super Bowl are amateurs.
Well, no. A lot of when they have these throngs, they might be holding a palm tree above their head, and they sort of
I can do that.
To get to the Super Bowl and be part of one of those productions, you are not an amateur.
I'm not talking about all the dancers. I'm talking about the people that just sort of step back and forth, and they're sort of. You can tell the amateurs from the professionals. Drake, I worked on with Broadway shows for 20 years. Don't tell me about dancers.
I've watched more Super Bowls than you, Randy. I've 100% watched the halftime shows more than you. You probably barely even watch that while you're going and, eating your chips.
Drake, you're a baby. I don't think I'd put money on the fact that you've watched more halftime shows than Randy Tobler.
Yeah, I would say Tobler. Tobler go back to the 60s on the Super Bowls.
But Shakira did a good job. I watched a little bit of it. That was a good thing. For me, that was more interesting than the soccer. I get bored with soccer. I'm sorry.
I
just,
do too. I don't have the attention span for it.
yeah, not enough action. But I respect the players. All you have
I
to
like
do is
playing. I'm not that great on watching, I guess.
all you have to do is just try to do what they do with a soccer ball and move and back and forth. You get it. It's like, okay, I respect what they're doing. But as a fan, I don't know. Anyway, who was the other guy who was this guy? Die? No, that's her song. There was another guy, looked like a Rasta guy. He had the dreadlocks going, dancing with her. Anyway, well, she had it rocking and rolling anyway at the thing. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Are they going to have Shakira at the Kansas City? At Kansas City, who's going to be there? Do we know the.
I'm not sure, but it looks like ticket sales are seeing robust global interest, and the secondary market remains highly volatile as fans wait for prices to drop.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there it is, popular. Hey, we're going to be talking with Senator Cindy O'Loughlin at 7:35 today to get her assessment in the session just finished and what's left in between now and the end of her term, because she's termed out. And when does that officially end? At the inauguration next January, or is that right? Officially?
Oh yeah, officially.
Probably officially, yeah. But
Sheryl Crow's the big headliner for the music shows World Cup Kansas City.
Who is it?
Oh,
Sheryl
cool.
Crow.
Oh,
That's cool.
there you go.
University of Missouri alum. Sheryl Crow.
I think Sheryl Crow is from Fenton, Missouri, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think, and and went to a school just where my wife went to elementary school down there in Fenton, right across from.
Flo Rida and Tech Nine are going to be in KC
well, that'll be great.
performing as
I think
well.
that's the one. One of those country people is from there. I think it was Sheryl Crow. So that'll be good. Well, yeah, she's a good star, big star. All right, well, that's cool. And then so Senator Cindy O'Loughlin at 7:35, and then later after that we talked to Stephen Fouts, who's the director of the Division of Tourism, Department of Tourism, because the Missouri has a big presence at this state fairs thing that they're doing in D.C.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should be a cool.
Going to go up there and see it?
I think I'd like to. I want to go check it out.
Wouldn't it
we
be
get
fun?
to D.C. a lot for conferences.
Wouldn't it be fun?
But it'd be fun to just go as tourists and enjoy, especially in this year. And everything's cleaned up and looking pretty. And that's been another cool thing, seeing like South Africans. Like, I can't believe how safe and good looking this is. There aren't bars in the windows. Women can walk outside alone. They can't believe it.
I know. It is. We were up there. We had a different feeling. We were up there just for a couple days and just a little bit in the city, but it just felt pretty good, right there down by National Stadium. So let's step aside, and when we come back, John Marsh with the Daily DC Rundown. Tell us what you're feeling good about today. 573-874-9390, 800-529-5572. Be back.
It's Wake Up Missouri.
a share price of $135. Take it or leave it. That's going to be the number. Ticker SPCX. But the big headline, if all goes according to plan, CEO Elon Musk could become the world's first trillionaire.
SpaceX going live today. Here's the daily DC rundown with John Marsh.
Yeah, that's a big story, more on the stock market side, but boy, oh boy, going public.
And
with
there's more on
SpaceX.
this side.
We may be closing in on a deal, but the conflict to one degree or another seems to go on, and it looks like the U.S. military had to once again come to the defense of ships in the region. According.
What's going on in Iran, John?
It looks like the Iranians say up front they have not reached a final conclusion on any agreement to end the war and accuse the U.S. of making new demands, and now they're back to targeting shipping in the Straits. But the president said he'd called off new military strikes on Iran, saying the U.S. would launch very hard on the new strikes and seize vital Iranian oil infrastructure, but says now an agreement's been reached and a deal will be signed likely in Europe. We'll see.
As early as this weekend, he said, but then the Iranians are saying no. So I guess it's in flux.
The president also announced he's nominating Jay Clayton, the current U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, to be the next director of national intelligence, hoping to end the stalemate on Capitol Hill. Trump's pick for the acting director of national intelligence, Bill Pulte, attracting strong criticism from the Dems and even some Republicans. And the weird D.C. story of the day, markings appeared on the National Mall that seemed to depict the numbers 8647. A photographer from Reuters saw the apparent markings just before the feds arrived, and his pictures show the faint tracing of 8647 in the grass with the World War II memorial in the background. They're now saying they're not sure what happened. They've even collected grass samples to see what happened on that for their testing. So weird, huh?
Yeah. Did you see a picture of that? I saw an overhead picture of the mall.
I was looking at the picture. I wasn't overly.
No,
you could read a couple numbers, but the other two, it was up for grabs.
I struggled.
Ooh, there's some wiggle room for criminal defense attorney.
The 8 was pretty clear. The 6 next to it was less clear. The 4 and the 7 were even less clear, but you could make it out, but it was tough. I'm wondering, how would someone do that? What would
kill the grass?
Well,
you got a sprayer.
It has to be a sprayer. It has to be a backpack sprayer.
Backpack sprayer with some gasoline in it,
Gas will do it.
Yeah,
huh?
that'll do it.
Yeah, gas.
Not your weed be gone or glyphosate.
No,
Any of
it'd
that
have
stuff.
to be, some sort of, you could put a cleaning chemical on there or something that kills the grass.
It's interesting. I saw a CNN report where they were interviewing people that were stopping by looking at the reflecting pool. Everyone they interviewed said, doesn't look blue to me. I see some algae in there. I mean, it was so negative, so negative. And, they said, yeah, it looks nice, but, did we need to spend the money? I mean, it was just so cynical and so negative. I couldn't believe it. But what do you expect from the Communist News Network?
Well, the Iranian news-affiliated Mer News, their state-affiliated news, is reporting a memorandum of understanding. So they're admitting that there's a deal.
All right. We'll see how that all unfolds and keep an eye on it here. When we come back, a 92-year-old on a stand-up career? Well, Jen has that when we come back.
I think
6:36 on a Feel Good Friday. The weather has cleared. The skies are beautiful. The ground is soaked. But
exits have opened.
Yeah, exits are open, so that's cool on Grindstone and 63 for those of you who get off on 63 there to come to work on various local areas. Jennifer, you found this story about maybe some secrets about living a successful quality and quantity of life, right? A robust old age.
Well, it's Feel Good Friday.
Yeah.
This story made me feel good. Lady decides to go ahead and go for it and become a stand-up comedian at the age of 92. And she currently has a show this month, 95 and still alive. And she starts out with the interview, want to see my Harry Styles cardigan that she knitted for herself because her granddaughter was going to go to the show, but she ended up getting to wear it, and she has a hot pink walker. She's like, isn't my walker sexy? And on her standing down, sitting up tour. And she seems like she's a hoot. She's had an interesting life. She dated her next show is going to be Sylvia Plath Stole My Boyfriend, because for 18 months she dated a guy who went on to marry Sylvia Plath. And so she's always enjoyed writing funny poems and entertaining people. And on stage, she jokes about aging, death, grief, and sex with the authority of someone who has experienced all of them in abundance. So I would go see that show if it were here. She's based in Australia, but yeah, she's been a memoirist and a novelist, a porcelain doll maker, a poet, a pet shop and lottery agency owner. She's had a full life, and I think it's cool.
Has she been a pawn and a king?
Stand-up comedy, I wouldn't go dance, but I'd give that a shot sometime. I think that could be kind of a fun challenge for yourself to see if you could get some laughs up on stage.
What this speaks to me about is resiliency. I mean, she grew up during the war and really had a tough early life. She said, I really started living my big life here in my 90s, because she had a pretty tough life. But she's been resilient. She's had to learn how to adapt. And
fortitude.
And certainly a jack of many trades, right? So that's the other thing. Keep interested, keep interesting, and be always curious. She's got to be a curious Georgette. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, for sure.
To do all that.
Just to go for it and to go to that reading where she was the only one. She believed that the rules required cussing, and they did not. And she's there at 92. She's the only one cussing up on stage, and people loved it.
So, well, as a 9-year-old wartime evacuee, she had to learn early how to adapt. And, raised 3 children, buried two of her children, committed suicide. That's wow.
That's horrible.
So she's seen grief, she's seen mental illness, but yet she, pushes through and rises out of the ashes. And look at this. I mean, this is fabulous. So good for her.
It says in here, Randy, you're the doctor, researchers have also found that positive attitudes towards aging may help people age better.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah, I think so. And again, it's hard to know if it's the chicken or the egg or, causation, but it seems like people that have a positive attitude probably has to do with stress hormones. If you have a positive attitude, you don't have all the negative stress hormones that come along, and that threatens your immune system and your metabolism. So there's a lot, I think, secondary effects of not having a positive attitude. And, or at least a positive feeling about, like I said, being interested, being resilient, can-do kind of a spirit, so.
What do you think they mean by aging better? Does it mean like less wrinkles, or your organs are functioning better, or what?
All of the above.
Really?
Yeah, all of your organs, including your brain organ.
Right back to the positive mental attitude.
And, I don't know whether pardon?
Right back to the positive mental attitude, too.
I think so. Yeah, there's no doubt that the stress hormones that come with, look at people. You can tell folks that have had a really tough life, maybe single moms in poverty, and you look at them, they look 10 years older than someone who hasn't had that. It's stress, and stress takes a terrible toll on one. And how you handle stress is another thing, right? If you handle it with aplomb and verve and resiliency, I think then you say, well, okay, sort of like, are you going to be like, I'd rather be like the Black Knight in the Monty Python. Yeah, just a flesh wound. It's nothing. That's the way to be. Another hit. Yeah, bring it on. I don't care. I think that's life throws you curveballs, and I think people like this, who's been thrown some curveballs, she decides to make some lemonade out of the lemon. Yeah, it's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
You know, there's a guy I've seen somewhere in the algorithm, was it on X or on Facebook? There's an old guy that does the same thing. It's hilarious, and he makes fun of aging all the time, about being old. It is hilarious about dating and relationships, and it's absolutely hysterical. I know one of you in Wake Up Family knows exactly who I'm talking about, and we'll try to find some of that. Maybe we can find some of that performance and play it for you. But that's good stuff. That's very good stuff.
So never too late. Go for it. If you got a dream of trying something new, go out there and do it. This lady did.
I wanted to ask you also about this controversy, Jen, that's being raised over the GoFundMe, $600,000+ that was raised for the defense of this Carmelo Anthony, who was sentenced to 35 years in Texas the other day for stabbing Austin Metcalf in the heart, killing him.
Yeah, this Daily Mail headline, I think, they sometimes, I love reading, I'll admit, I read the Daily Mail maybe more than I should.
Well, now it's 1.3 million, but it started out 600,000, I guess, right? But I don't know. There's a big pot of money that was raised for his defense, and I guess the parents are keeping it. A lot of people are saying, wait a minute, this was for defense.
But he still has years of appeals ahead of him, so it could cost $600,000 for that process.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I don't think it's like, outrageous. Carmelo Anthony family will still keep $600,000 donation windfall despite guilty verdict as they vow to keep fighting. Yeah, he has a right to appeals. He has direct appeals. He has the post-conviction appeals in Missouri, you have 2 different tracks of appeals. So that money could be eaten up by that whole process.
Well, so think of it as an escrow fund, right? It's a reserve fund.
Yeah.
They were asking for 1.3 million, and I guess they took the site down after 600,000. And Now, does the appeals process go as quickly as the trial did in this case? We talked about it the other day, how it was, bang, bang, bang. They were done. The trial and sentencing, and it was done. The appeals, though, they drag on, huh? Generally. I mean, just in general terms.
Well, it'll take a year or two for the direct appeal, and then another year or two for the secondary appeal.
Why
they do
is
it
that?
the way that they do down here in Missouri.
Give us a little glimpse behind the scales of Lady John. Why does it take a year?
The Attorney General's office here handles the state appeals, and the Public Defender's office handles the bulk of the, appeals for the people. And they've got a big log, so they'll ask for a continuance because they're working on other briefs and getting them done. And then they get scheduled for oral argument. Yeah. And then they get most of them denied. So, so he's probably not going to succeed on appeal.
Yeah.
But the jury, I know that they were making a big to-do, and I brought this up on my show. They had 0 black jurors in the pool. And I've actually walked a black client when I had 0 in the pool, but it is a little off-putting when you're defending a black client and you see 0 black faces looking out at you when you get to look at the panel that you get to pick from.
But I thought we were a post-racial society.
Well,
so a judge shouldn't a proper judge say, I reject that. We're a post-racial society. We judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Thank you.
Well, we do when we summon jurors, and some communities don't have a big population, so you might not get any on your panel. Now, in Columbia, you're going to get some black people on your panel, but when I'm looking around for counties to try to get some black jurors when we're switching venues, there's not that many counties out of our huge number of counties, 114, plus the city of St. Louis, where you have a substantial population of black people.
I guess what's hurting some of this family's arguments about the money is last year, the Anthony family relocated to a $900,000 house in an exclusive enclave.
With the gate, but they've moved out, and the neighbors don't know where they went.
They're making it all about race, but I thought during the trial, both the defense and the prosecution said this is not about race.
They did, yeah.
So if the defense
the parents
said
didn't
that,
bring anything up about the jurors all being white until after he got convicted by him.
But isn't that too late to the game for an appeal? I mean, how can you after the game say, "Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention"?
Well, it depends on if his lawyer, made on the record any note or objection about that, and then the judge is like, "Okay, noted. Let's keep going." That's how that works. It doesn't matter what the parents said. It
seems,
matters whether the lawyers preserve the issue.
So, like, I don't know. Let's just unpack this. So, if there's going to be like 2 or 3 things that you're going to say we're going to appeal because either a process wasn't right or whatever, black jurors. I mean, okay, you and I just unpack that in like 5 seconds, 5 minutes. Can't we just go to get the appeals done next week? Just get it done. Why? If there's only a couple of issues, why does it take a year? Why do these things take so long?
They have to transcribe the whole proceedings. You had a week-long trial with people talking, and we're talking real trial where they're going all day, every day. They're going late. They're going into the evening. Every word gets recorded, whether the jury's in the room or not.
Yeah.
If the lawyers are talking on the record, that takes weeks to get that transcript back, and you need that transcript back to file to even have the record for the appeal.
Yeah.
So you need all the motions that you filed in the court. You need the transcript, which takes a while to get. It shouldn't take as long anymore, but it does because court reporters need to make their money, and they're not going to turn that over to AI without a fight.
What about AI? I was going to ask you, couldn't AI really do a great job?
They really are protective over that extra money that they get from providing those transcripts.
Oh.
Janet makes me think of the Ryan Ferguson case and all that. Now he got the big settlement on the criminal side, that all being released, and then the civil side of that, wasn't he awarded like $1 million just for attorney fees on that one? And earlier on, Catherine Zellner was pro bono and all that. So that was one people have watched in mid-Missouri, how it all panned out and took years.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was, he had his appeals that got denied, and then they got him out with habeas, which is an extraordinary remedy, and it's extraordinary when it happens. It's really hard to do, and and it requires finding like new evidence of innocence that you have a reason that it wasn't found earlier, and it would have changed the outcome of the case.
Wow.
To get the habeas to work.
It's all very complicated.
Or you find out that they hid evidence. That exculpatory evidence they should have handed. There's very few reasons where you can get that after your appeals where you can get something overturned. Very hard to do.
These legal things are more complicated than a neurofibrillary tangle of Alzheimer's disease in the brain.
I don't even understand what you just said.
And I'm glad that you're here you're here to unpack that. In for Stephanie, who unpacks the civil side of things for us as well on Wake Up Missouri. We are fortunate indeed. Jennifer Bukowski and your show's on Sunday.
10 to noon, and Josh Hawley's on it this week.
Who?
It's Josh Hawley. Have you heard
Really,
of
Josh?
him? Our senator. Oh,
wow.
So that's exciting.
That's good. Okay, well, that's cool. We'll look forward to that, see what he has to say about things. When we come back, so it's the weekend. You may not be fitting into your swimsuit or your bikini sort of like you'd like to yet. If you want to cut back on some of those calories that counteract that fitting into the swimsuit or the bikini, you may want to listen up to Make Missouri Healthy again when we come back. Stay tuned.
It's Wake Up Missouri.
their salt and vinegar potato chips along with beer. Oh, no, Drake? Yeah.
I love salt and vinegar chips. I just don't drink. So, but
but you know what I mean?
Is that a combo?
And isn't it true that when you drink, you have this insatiable taste for, or appetite for, the savory, ultra rich stuff, the Chex Mix. I
That's
love
why they put bowls of nuts on bars.
Yeah, the Dots pretzels, right? We just love that kind of a flavor. You don't reach for the candy. You don't want to go for a chocolate with caramel, right? When you're drinking. Oh, wait a minute. We just got a little, who me? With Jennifer Bukowski. Yeah?
I mean, my last meal would include chocolate cake and big old glass of red wine. So,
Okay.
or 2 or 4. If I'm about to get killed, maybe more than that.
Ultra-processed foods are engineered to taste intensely savory without delivering protein. They give you your taste buds the impression that you're eating protein, which is generally filling, gives you early satiety. And if you eat protein and fiber early in your meal, often you're going to eat less of the calorie-rich and nutrition-poor stuff later. We talk about that a lot with our folks, our patients. Well, now researchers in Australia find that when you drink alcohol, there's a hormone called FGF21. Never mind that. It surges, and that tends to bring on cravings for this kind of a thing. A handful of nuts, the sausage, the cheese, all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, now that's protein rich, but alongside that, we've got to have on a cracker, right? Got to have the savory stuff too, in the snack bowl as well. It turns out that people that were drinking alcohol, consumers reported significantly more savory food and significantly less sweet food. And it turned out that savory food that isn't protein rich acts as a protein decoy. And so your body wants more and more of it because you're not getting the right signal to your actual taste sense or your actual fullness centers in the brain. And you eat more and more of the calorie-dense stuff. Guess what? These people that drank as little as 1 to 2 drinks a day were eating 40% more calories a day.
And then they get heavy, and that's what's unhealthy.
Yeah,
right?
And that's what leads to now alcohol itself packs on the pounds. If you've been drinking a glass of wine a night or having a cocktail 3 or 4 nights a week, just stop it and do nothing else, and tell me how your weight looks a week or 2 from now. It's going to go down.
You know what I do instead? I don't let myself have my glass of wine or whatever unless I've worked out that day.
Yeah, well, and that's good
too.
So
I feel like I'm trying to
you get
counteract it that way because I don't want to cut out alcohol altogether.
You can certainly manage that and get to an equilibrium. But if you're really trying to actively lose weight, one of the first things I recommend is just go teetotal. Just go teetotal. It makes such a big difference. Or
do the south of the border bar snack thing where they're ahead of the game. They're not doing carbs. They do the chipolinas on the bar in Mexico, which are the spicy grasshoppers.
Ooh,
eating bugs, John.
That's some high protein. That's some high protein.
Like
there you go.
Yeah, don't alcohol kills gains? Isn't that a thing for building muscle at least too? So not only if you're trying to slim down, if you're trying to bulk up, alcohol is bad for you there too.
It's not good. It's really, I think more and more. And I'm not a teetotaler, but I think that in general, I think the advice to sort of dial it down a little bit is very, very sane advice. Now, on the other hand, I think it's also fair to say that the healthier you are most of the time, you may get a little bit of some credit, right? You get, it's all in context.
That's what I'm
in context, So, at any rate, hey, there's nothing like drink. Yep.
From the Zimmer Radio Network headquarters.
When we have good numbers, the markets ought to go up, not go down. And that's the way you build greatness. You build greatness that way.
It's your morning addiction. Wake Up Missouri with Stephanie Bell.
And we will resist until this does not happen again.
The Zimmer News Team.
3/4 of American STEM students can't find employment after college.
And now introducing your host, Randy Tobler.
Congressional baseball?
Oh, okay.
Are we talking politics here? Republicans versus Democrats. That's Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt. Show me something
what is
from the
happening?
show me state. Schmidt laying out to make the. That's my senator.
Oh,
that's my senator.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but you learn something new.
Well, Eric Schmidt, on the heels of his famous, amazing catch the other night at the congressional baseball game, where for the sixth time in the row the Republicans won. They hammered the Democrats 11-2. He makes Sports Center, Jennifer Bukowski. She's in for Stephanie. What do you think of that?
I think it's great. I know he's clearly thrilled about it. And this is why President Trump loves our Senator Eric Schmidt so much. Trump loves winners. He loves athletes. He loves people out of central casting. And so you can see Eric Schmidt apparently did baseball and what other sport in college?
He played football
That's pretty
Truman
good.
State.
That's pretty good. And so no wonder he's out there going for it. My husband's very competitive like that, too. And we were playing pickleball the other day. I'm like, he's going to break something diving for balls. And I thought the same thing with Eric Schmidt. I'm like, I'm glad he didn't break anything because they have that athlete competitveness. But he's very pleased, and I'm happy for him, making Missouri proud.
So he
came up bleeding, though.
He comes on to Laura Ingraham last night, proudly wearing his scuff on the left side of his nose.
You're 6'6". You'd had to stretch out pretty far for that. How's your nose doing? A little contusion there, a little cut.
Well, you're getting the first primetime view of the nose right now, actually. So I didn't even know I was bleeding. I just knew I was going to get to that ball and lay it out and laid it all out on the line there. And then, I got up and my nose was bleeding. And you know what? I'm from Missouri. No big deal. I just wiped the blood off, put it on my pants, and rubbed some dirt on the wound and kept playing. So, but it was fun. It was a blast. It was a blast. So.
I didn't know dirt was an astringent. It's like a cut stick in the fight ring, I guess. I don't know.
It's the standard coach's line. Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah.
Back in there, and then an expletive to go along with it.
Speaking of cuts in the ring, there's this UFC fight on the grounds of the White House. When is that? Tomorrow? It's coming up. I think it's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
It's tomorrow?
It's very soon, or is it next week? I think it's very, very soon. Yeah, I think it's coming up. And I think that you said, Jennifer, that people are from all over the country, the world are doing that, right? It's June 14th. Yeah, it's June 14th. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That
South
is
Lawn.
coming up.
It's this
That's
weekend.
Sunday.
Yeah.
That's Sunday.
Well, apparently so many people want to come to this thing that Marco Rubio was talking about it, causing a diplomatic crisis. That's pretty.
I can tell you this is true, and I can tell you about your global reach because the president, I have another job and spend a lot of time at the White House. The number of foreign leaders that want to come to this is unbelievable. It's to the point where we may have a diplomatic crisis because it's like, we can't bring everybody. And so they follow, and some of them don't even have a fighter in the fight from their country. They just want to come because they are fans of the sport and they follow it.
Well, okay, so let's talk about this, though. Let's break it down. We talked about this in the realm of the NFL and the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 and how there were hearings the other day. And, consumer advocates, fan advocates are saying, hey, when there was only broadcast television, we gave a exemption to the antitrust laws to the sports leagues, NFL among them, back in the 60s, in order to bring free viewing to the viewing public over free broadcast airways. Well, now they've started to, they claim, the fan advocates say, including Clay Travis and others, say, well, you guys, now that you're making people spend $600, $800, some say over $1,000, the head of the National Association of Broadcasters testified, some people spending over $1,000 so that they can watch their favorite team and or teams. I for one, I don't care if it costs $10,000, but I don't want it to be on the back of a monopoly, a carve out, an oligopoly on the backs of congressional legislation, right? A special carve out from an exemption. I mean, I'm sorry if it costs a lot, but I like whatever. I like baseball, I like football, but it's not something I need to live. I don't think though that that they should be able to use. You need that to live. I know, Drake. You need that to live. But okay. Anyway, do you think that this fight that's going to occur on the lawn of the people's house, the White House, that's the people's house, should we have to pay to watch that? You have to get a Paramount Plus subscription. Isn't it Paramount Plus?
Yeah. Paramount.
I don't think that's right. What do you think? 573-874-9390. We're going to put it up on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Should that be free on broadcast network, or should you have to buy a subscription to watch the fight?
I think it's a pretty bad ticket, and I don't watch UFC, but, I mean, I'd pay so much money to watch Trump react to a fight. Because, I mean, the last sporting event that he went to, it was a dud. He was falling asleep in the third quarter. Yeah. But, I need to see him riled up. That's what I need to see.
I don't know. I mean, if this is occurring
or on the
property...
Ticket.
You'll get to see highlight clips and stuff like that for free later, but not live.
I don't know. It's a principle of the matter. If this is public ground, this is taxpayer funded. Now, I'm sure that the taxpayers didn't pay for the grandiose structure that this is. I hope we're not paying for that. But there's extra security. There's extra expenses. Now, I don't know whether all of those are being borne by the profit makers in this deal. I just think it looks bad. And it's another opportunity for people to say, well, there goes Trump, padding the palms of his buddies. Dana White and here, good friends. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Use the backdrop of the White House. Again, I don't care, and it's not a big deal to me so much, but it's giving the other side ammo. It's giving the other side ammo when it comes to political gamesmanship. No?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, Dana White and the TKO people would tell you, well, we had to make our book to get the people here with the purses and all that. And then Paramount Plus says, well, we had to pay a fortune for the rights to this, to UFC and Dana and all. So that's what happens.
Well, it's a lot less than it used to be to watch a fight. $8.99 a month for a subscription. They used to charge $80 to watch a live UFC fight. It was this year that now you can get it with Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I guess you can. Can you just do a month by month, a 1 month, and then cancel it?
Yeah,
so you pay $9?
So. Mm-hmm.
Now, Drake, you made a good point. I think Drake
it used to be $80 per fight you watched.
Yeah,
on pay-per-view, big time.
Drake, weren't you saying something about the fact that it's a little weird that you pay the prices you do when you help fund the stadium, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, you see so many city governments and state governments trying to fight for these stadiums. I mean, we experienced it with the Kansas City Chiefs, and now that's a stupid decision. Then now you have the Chicago Bears going to Indiana.
Yeah.
That seems to be where it's going because they're trying to get the biggest deal from taxpayers to pay for the stadium that the players will play in. So, I mean, I don't know. This is just kind of ridiculous, the whole thing.
I, for one, just don't think the government should have anything, zero, period, to do with a for-profit entity that is not a necessity of life. The government should be.
Well, let's not call it a necessity.
I don't know. I'm a limited government guy. Sorry, I'm going to live by those values.
But no, I agree with you, Randy.
I just don't know
how much of your tax dollars went to the Mizzou Stadium project. $250 million.
I don't know. That's fine and dandy. And I guess if you're going to spend public funds, okay, maybe the state, maybe that's a constitutional founding fathers thing, but it certainly shouldn't be a federal government. The federal government why are they in bed? What do they have to do with the NCAA? What do they have to do with the NFL? Get out of that thing. Let the NFL be the NFL. If they want to charge $8 million to watch a game, see how long that lasts. Let the market rule. Let the market decide on discretionary spending.
Yeah, it turns out the market's the best way to suss that out.
I just don't get it. And you have people who call themselves Republicans that get involved in these things that are not essential to life. Well, if it's essential to life, the government might have an interest in it.
They love spending other people's money. That's a bipartisan problem we have in our country.
Come on, Jennifer, you're the vice chair of the Republican Party. Say it ain't true.
Politicians love spending other people's money.
Well, I mean,
Democrats and Republicans.
If the Libertarians weren't so crazy, I'd probably join that party. God love you, Gary Nolan. I mean, there's crazy people. There's some crazy people.
To be fair, Jen, I think everyone loves spending someone else's money. Like, I mean,
eventually you run out of other people's money. That's what
that's absolutely
Thatcher
true.
says.
But if Randy gave me his credit card, I am going to go buy the expensive Lego set that I've been wanting for months.
Are you the guy, if we're going out to dinner, you buy the steak and lobster?
No.
If it's your credit card, you would.
Oh.
No, never.
If I'm going out to dinner with someone, I see what they're buying, and I buy something way lower than that. I don't want to buy.
Randy, you know a topic that I'm surprised we haven't touched on the show yet?
What is this?
The Brendan Sorsby thing.
Yeah, what about
it? The quarterback that is going to be able to play after gambling on his own team.
We mentioned that. Yeah, they're going to let him play.
Yeah, they're going to let him play. Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie Bell, for the Gaming Commission and everything like that. These problems would not exist.
It's all about winning. That was a story.
Well, did he bet on them to win?
No, he bet on his own team.
To win?
I don't know if he bet on them to win.
Did you see the story where these kids that are in high school, they've been NIL'd, recruited, with big, lush, they're driving $150,000 cars, they're buying $20,000 watches, they go back to their prom, in just prom season, and they've got the bling and they're living it up. I'm going, this is not going to work out well. These kids are not of age to be able to appreciate and manage this kind of celebrity. I don't think it's going to work out well for them.
And the argument that was made during all the NIL debate said, it just bumps it up a couple years before they hit the NFL or whatever sport they're in. And it's the whole challenge of a lot of that stuff went on, on the down low, where people were getting back in the day joked about Trans Ams and all for players.
Yeah, but you didn't see guys going to their high school prom with $20,000 watches and a $150,000 car. You didn't see that happening. And I'm just asking, culturally, is it a healthy thing where that's the aspiration and that becomes the aspiration? Just like social media, every young girl wants to look like the filtered, perfect images that they see on Facebook.
Oh, don't give me that, Randy. Everyone wants to be a football player before NIL. Like, being a pro sport, like going to college and being an athlete, that was every kid's dream. Every kid.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about delayed gratification and earning it.
Well, these kids have earned it.
And the whole money thing, NIL, the whole money thing. What did Mizzou make from the SEC for TV rights? $70 million.
Yeah, looks like I'm wrong here, gang. Wake up, Missouri. I'm getting slapped down by Jennifer.
Wake
Greg,
Up Gang is ganging up on Randy Tobler.
Ganging up on. I'm gonna. We'll be back.
Gonna take his mic and go home.
In a little while, in just a couple minutes, we'll come back. And let's talk about, please, Democrats, give us a midterm. Oh, I can't wait. Please do what you're going to do. I'll explain.
It's Wake Up
We are here. And so we must work towards repair. This means reparative justice, like advancing H.R. 40 to develop reparations proposals. And as the lead House sponsor, I commit to advancing this bill alongside my movement siblings in the broader work for repair, truth, and healing. But let me be clear. This is not a movement or an appeal for benevolence or charity. This is a movement to demand redress.
Ayanna Pressley and your other reparation colleagues, please keep, from every mountaintop, from every podium, from every dais, at every event, please keep talking about reparations, would you? Please keep talking about victimhood. Please keep talking about, woe is me. You've ascended to leadership in the greatest country the planet's ever seen, and you're talking about reparations. Please do that as a gift to us. The Democrats just keep on giving us gifts, Jennifer. They give us Tallarico in Texas. They give us Plattner in Maine. Presley for her reparations. It's a beautiful thing.
This is why we have Trump in office, because you have people can see people like her. People are privileged positions, whining like they are owed some of our money, like everybody's money should go to them. They don't have as much money as she does.
Oh, yeah.
You know, plenty of people don't have what she has.
How about Michelle Obama? She whines about her tough life and how it's so difficult.
They had to pay for the food.
Yeah.
At the White House. The chef prepares it. Someone goes and shops and buys it for them. They don't have to, but a lot of people just don't know. We have to pay. We had to pay for that food. That's
last
expensive.
Last time I checked, there's a lot of melanin on the court in the NBA Finals too. I mean, well, those poor guys, they're impoverished. You know, what a struggle. I'm sorry.
You're in the wealthiest country.
I'm just saying, people
in the world.
I mean, come on, guys, get over it. Oh, here's one. Please, here's another gift you can give us, Democrats. I love this. We have to make sure that these reels are prominent. Here is a Skid Row. Woman's been on Skid Row for 4 years, and they interview her about the Democrats buying her vote and others.
My name is Shanika Renee Johnson. I'm from Los Angeles, California. 39 years old.
You live in Skid Row?
I live in Skid Row.
Oh, and then would they come down here and try and pay you to vote?
Yes.
On a ballot?
Yes.
Oh, how much they pay you?
$5.
Oh, and they said, here, come and vote for these candidates?
Yes, sir.
They told you who to vote for?
Yes.
Wow. So they told you to vote for Karen Bass or Cynthia Rahman?
Karen Bass.
Yeah, so they're paying the people on Skid Row in L.A. to vote for the Democrat candidate. Keep it on. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, Democrats. This is good stuff. Good stuff.
They're not being very fair about how much they're paying. I saw a video where they paid the lady on Skid Row $2 to vote for Karen Bass. Why'd that lady get two and a half times as much?
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is true. And I'm glad for it. I mean, they're making campaign ads for every Republican candidate, every libertarian, every non-Democrat candidate. I mean, it's like, please, if this, you may not like Donald Trump the way he speaks. You may not agree with this or that. You may not like Eric Schmidt. You may not like Josh Hawley, whoever's running. But you want this? I mean, please. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Has America been fair to Donald Trump?
Politics is kind of like, I don't know, an ever-present flu. It just keeps going.
It's like an it's just, it's the gift that keeps on giving, right? Hey, let's talk about some of the things coming up. I mean, we have Amendment 4, Amendment 5, and I know one of your big issues is education. We want to touch on all three of those. Let's talk about Amendment 4. That's the initiative petition reform. What does that mean for people as they weigh that ballot and issue coming towards them here?
Well, it's too bad we can't have visuals on here, but basically what's happening, what is called a citizen-led initiative, has really turned into progressive interests coming into the state and getting things on the ballot, spending millions and millions of dollars to get it passed, and it's really not citizen-led, and they're just trying to override the legislature. So, in my opinion, we have a super majority of Republicans, and you can debate whether they're conservative enough or not, but there are some things we just won't do, and those are the things that seem to be getting on the ballot. For instance, the Amendment 4 would require that the Secretary of State hold a public hearing to give people information about what the amendment actually does. You would have to provide the entire amendment, which right now you have to tell people in 50 words what that amendment will do, which never really gives you an idea of what exactly it's going to do. It prohibits foreign funding. The abortion amendment that passed in 2024 received millions of dollars from a Swiss fund called the Berger Fund. So it's that kind of thing that's happening. And Amendment 4 is an attempt to be sure that the entire state of Missouri is represented and that people know what they're voting on.
I didn't know about that public hearing part. I think that's really important because, I'm an attorney, and I if you're just joining us, we're talking to Senator Cindy O'Loughlin. This is Jennifer Bukowski filling in. And I'll tell you what, the amendment that we had in Boone County about the property taxes, I couldn't find the full language anywhere, and I had questions like, well, what age does it start? And I'm an attorney, and I'm connected, and I could not figure that out. And so I think that's important to have public hearings where people can ask basic questions about what they're choosing their laws to be.
Well, and I think recreational marijuana had, 39 pages of text.
It did.
And then, you read 50 words, and there's no way that 50 words can really adequately reflect what you're actually voting on.
Great point. Yep.
So the other thing about that provision, doesn't it really sort of make it more egalitarian or more fair in terms of representation when people when people vote for these things as far as
yes.
the process?
If you looked at some of the bigger issues that have passed, basically it's the urban area just barely getting it over the line versus the rural area. Mm-hmm. It's a lot like, if you believe in the Electoral College, it's the very same type of thought process. The entire state needs to be represented if you're going to change the Constitution.
Yeah.
And that's what initiative petition amendments do. They change the Missouri Constitution for everyone, not just, a few people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a more equally weighted, giving the rural voice more, which geographically we're a rural state. I mean, if you think about it. So
Exactly.
What is maybe just, it's always good to sort of anticipate the strongest against it argument. So what's the strongest against it argument against this proposal, and what's the best pushback against that?
Well, one of the major groups that's against it is the realtors, and they're spending literally millions of dollars to try to defeat it. Their argument is, well, we've used it in the past to stop the legislature from doing something that we don't like. My pushback against that is, the public can overwhelm the legislature, and you see it happen. I wouldn't say routinely, but you do see it happen every every session, but we can't outspend groups like the George Soros Fund.
No.
We don't have that kind of money. And so the message that's being paid for by people who absolutely do not represent Missouri's best interests, we can't beat those people. So that's my take on it.
And it's we've got to be able to, fairly represent the super red state we are. But these insurgents coming in, the way they do these these amendments is crazy. We're talking with Senator Cindy O'Loughlin, Senate President of the Missouri General Assembly of the Missouri Senate. She joins us on Wake Up Missouri.
Senator, we had the governor on the other day, talked to him about what potentially will happen at the veto session. That came as Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick said. The budget's broken and a $1.7 billion deficit. What's going to happen in this year's veto session?
Well, I'm not expecting anything big to happen. I think if the governor vetoes particular things, it's very unlikely that his own Republican majority is going to try to override him. Generally, we support the governor, and I don't see that happening. The alarm bell ringing on the budget, I mean, the reality is, and I think everyone is aware of this, the pandemic and the funds that were sent to the states increased the budget by maybe as much as 48%. And we've talked about it on your show before. For the most part, money was to be spent on things that were one-time expenses. And I think I've talked about, in my area, I asked for funding to replace a sewer in the nursing home, which is kind of a small thing. But for us, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
And also a cancer treatment center that we do not have anywhere in northern Missouri, that kind of thing. So while it is true that any reserves that you have are being spent down, those reserves are mostly federal money that we knew was coming.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So it's going to take some belt tightening. And I guess the hope with Amendment 5 and sunsetting, again, with some calibration and some guardrails on that, but sunsetting the income tax should, if we follow the ways of Texas and Tennessee and Florida, should maybe increase revenues because more people come in, more commerce, more business, therefore overall more revenues, even though at a lower income tax rate. No?
The reality is that Missouri has not really grown a lot in people moving into the state, businesses coming into the state. And if you can attract people who are going to invest in the state, they create jobs. And so overall, that is a net positive for us. And the idea behind not having an income tax is it does create an incentive for people to come in and invest in Missouri. One of the things, I don't know if people think about this or not, but being an entrepreneur, particularly in our rural areas, and we are a rural state, is very important. So if you start your own business and yet you're going to have to pay income tax, that's a negative for you. If you can hang on to that money and continue to invest it, grow your business, create jobs for people, then, that's good for everyone. And the idea of doing away with the income tax, it does have a lot of guardrails on it. The economy has to grow a certain amount before any reduction is implemented. It's a very slow process. Mm-hmm. So we're not looking to do away with the revenue to the state and all of a sudden dramatically cut everything off, which I know that people are a little bit afraid of that, but there's a lot of guardrails in that.
Well, and I don't know about you, but I believe in the Laffer curve. Even though it's a lower rate, if you bring many, many, many more people in paying more taxes at a lower rate, overall you end up with absolute more dollars.
And that's been shown in Tennessee and Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about education. I know that's something near and dear to your heart. What can you say has been done and what needs to be done? Where are we there?
Well, I think we need to concentrate on two things. We need to concentrate on math, and we need to concentrate on reading. Right now, and since the pandemic, I hate to keep bringing that up, but that was probably the most ruinous period in the last 50 years. People didn't go to school. Absenteeism, chronic absenteeism has risen tremendously. But if you look at our outcomes recovering from the pandemic, we're 26th in recovering in math and 28th in reading. 73% of our fourth graders cannot read at the proficient level, and 77% of eighth graders can't score at or above proficient in math. And I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to. I really don't hate to bring it up. When we switched to reading methods that left phonics out, at that time, I said, this is never going to work. People are not going to be able to read. Phonics is like a key to a locked closet.
Yep.
And if you don't understand that, you know, you're going to see a word that you don't know, and you're not going to be able to read. And here we are.
Yeah.
And dare I say, if you drive through a fast food restaurant or anywhere else and someone has to figure out how much change they give you, nobody can.
No. If the cash register breaks, they're lost. They have to shut down.
Right. What do we do if the power goes out?
So that needs to be done. Does that need change at the administrative level, at the legislative level, all of the above? Where's the change need to come about?
Well, I think at every level, and one of the things that we look at the state of Mississippi. They have zeroed in on math and reading and said, you're going to be able to do this, and this is what our focus is going to be, and a lot of these other things are going to kind of be set aside, and they have gone from near the bottom to the top of the country.
Yeah. Mississippi.
So it's not like there's not something out there that we could duplicate.
All right. Well, clearly, with her eye on the target, that is a big deal, is Senator Cindy O'Loughlin. And we look forward to more conversations about education. We'll focus on that next time. Cindy, thanks for being with us. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right. There she is. When we come back, John, what's up?
Beer and bagpipes for breakfast.
Wow. Well, we'll have John bellow that out when we return.
It's
would be all, except for this.
Scotland will play in the first World Cup match at Boston Stadium in Foxborough Saturday night, but many of the fans are already in town and fired up. Several landed at Logan Airport dressed in uniform, ready for the game. Some Scottish fans crossed the pond in their kilts for the entire flight. Been drinking since 1 o'clock in the morning when I got up, said David Wood as he arrived. We ran out of beer. That was my only complaint, Darren Wilson said of his flight, and said we had a round of applause when we landed. I don't know if you do that here, but it's a very Scottish thing. The pilot said, yeah, the beer ran out. The plane load of folks just switched over to wine. And now it turns out they're staying at a B&B in one neighborhood, and at O'Dark 30 greeted the neighbors with the bagpipers at the early hours of the morning, to which the piper said, I'm going to have a nice whiskey, then I'm going to go about town, and I want to find cheers. That's what I want to do. I want to find cheers. And they said some of them got hit by the scams, now out $1,300 a ticket that didn't exist.
Oh, no. Well, Freddie, our famous German sojourner, who's gone viral, continues to make noise. His latest stop was Bass Pro Shops in Alabama.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
He's amazed by America. It's what I needed right now. It's like there's multiple of them. They go to Walmart. They're blown away by Walmart. They all love Buc-ee's.
Waffle House.
And then he went to a good Bass Pro,
Bell.
one of the Bass Pros with the 2-story high aquarium and a shooting range. And he was like, they have a shooting range in here. Like, you guys could not believe this place.
I think he's been to Chili's as well. But I think
he loves the fast food.
It reminds.
He says Taco Bell is his holy land.
The holy grail.
They keep hoping they get one.
Doesn't it remind us, though, of just how wonderful life in America is? We may rail about the cost of things or this or that, but the standard of living that we have in this country and what has become normal is absolutely astounding, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's another one. He's walking around D.C. He's from South Africa. He's like, look at this. It's clean. This bench isn't destroyed. There aren't people having sex on it. There's women walking around with handbags. And I would go, wait, women can't walk around during the daytime in South Africa? And he's like, heck no, they'll get raped in public.
Yeah.
What is happening in South Africa? And apparently, like, it's like that in a lot of places in the world where women just can't walk alone outside. But he, as a man, couldn't walk alone outside during the daytime in the park that he was in D.C. with a cell phone and glasses without getting robbed.
My Lord, it's just it's amazing.
Yeah, we have a coworker here who's from South Africa, and she talks about how bad it is. And from what I've gathered, O-Block Chicago is the nicest place. Like, that quality is
really?
The nicest place in South Africa.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's just
That's
terrible.
like upscale South Africa is, oh, wow. Holy cow.
Yeah, I can pull that clip for you. It's interesting.
Hey, well, let's see what the Department of Tourism from Missouri is up to with its director, Stephen Fouts. He joins us here in just a few minutes on Wake Up Missouri. They're going to be at the Great State Fair gathering in Washington, D.C. coming up pretty soon, and see what's happening with tourism and the state of Missouri. And boy, it is a beautiful place to tour in, isn't it? We're so lucky to be here. Be back in a few.
from the Zimmer Radio Network headquarters.
When we have good numbers, the markets ought to go up, not go down. And that's the way you build greatness. You build greatness that way.
It's your morning addiction. Wake Up Missouri with Stephanie Bell.
And we will resist until this does not happen again.
The Zimmer News Team.
3/4 of American STEM students can't find employment after college.
And now introducing your host, Randy Tobler.
Okay, you got to check this out. There is people walking everywhere. There are women walking alone with fancy handbags, jewelry on, glasses on. They're not being harassed, nothing. Then, right here, you've got a park. Not a speck of litter, beautiful flowers, a bench that hasn't got someone raping someone on it. Clean and tidy. You got squirrels that haven't been eaten by savages. This place is freaking awesome.
Well, that was a South African taking in the splendor of a beautiful Washington, D.C., and coming very soon in this America 250, well, the month before the day, starting June 25th, will be this great celebration of America's State Fair, we call it. And joining us now is Stephen Fouts. He's the director of the Division of Tourism here in the state of Missouri. And, boy, you're going to have a presence up there for Missouri, right? Thank you, Steve, for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Randy, for having me. We're excited about the opportunity to participate and looking forward to connecting with people from really all around the country and all around the world who will be in D.C. during that roughly 2-week time frame.
Yeah, the Great American State Fair there in D.C. This is going to be, wow, what an exposition. And tell us a little bit about what you will be sharing with foreigners that may want to take a little detour to Missouri, even if they didn't plan it on first, or maybe those who are coming to Missouri but not exactly sure where to go because they're going to be at the World Cup, but they have a little extra time. What's going to be the highlight from the Missouri contingent?
Sure. You know, one of the things that we try to sell with Missouri is the idea of variety, right? That there's really something to do for every taste, style, and budget. And so we're going to be highlighting Missouri's variety, showcasing our large cities and our small towns. We're going to lean into the Route 66 Centennial. We know that, especially with our international visitors, Route 66 represents an authentic slice of Americana. I know that might sound a little cliche to say, but it really is true.
It is.
When we attend trade shows, whether they're international media or international tour operators, one of, if not the first things they ask about is Route 66.
Wow.
So we've been really fortunate here in Missouri. We've seen new projects come online in the last year and a half, like the Route 66 Neon Park in St. Robert. Of course, Springfield, Missouri is billed as the birthplace of Route 66 and had some really incredible national centennial kickoff events there earlier this year. And there are events happening on the route throughout the summer. But, we're going to try to highlight a lot of Missouri and just lean into Route 66 a little bit more.
You know, we saw Governor Kehoe on Fox and Friends recently, and they're in the museum and hanging out with Steve Ducey, and it was really great to see Missouri via Route 66 being featured. It was really cool.
Absolutely. It was a great opportunity for Missouri to be on the national stage. Today's show's third hour, I believe it was, broadcast live from Springfield for about an hour. John Goodman was there. There was a large concert, and it really brought a lot of attention and business to Springfield and the region. So that's great for Missouri.
Steve, from your days in the media, up the street at the paper and all, how important is the whole marketing angle to keep Missouri competitive in this tourism marketplace, especially in the Midwest?
That's a great question. For most of us, when we think about travel and tourism, we think about the fun components, right? We think about time with family, memories made, getting away from the 8 to 5. But tourism really is big business, and it's a competitive business. Many of our states, our border states that we would consider competitors, I'll look at Tennessee, for example. Their state tourism office has a very robust marketing budget, and so they're able to reach consumers. And, we're competing a lot of times for the same consumers. And so it is important that we continue to beat the drum of Missouri as a great leisure travel destination. We've been very fortunate to have the support of Governor Kehoe and our legislature to keep funding for the Division of Tourism at a very competitive level, and we're thankful for that. And so it's our job to get out there and try to, again, position the state as a great place to visit, a place where people are going to find a variety of destinations and attractions and activities, and to enjoy the Midwestern hospitality that we offer here in the Show Me State.
If you're just joining us, we're talking with Stephen Fotes. He's the director of the Missouri Division of Tourism, talking about the Great State Fair in D.C. and tourism in general. And Stephen, have you seen this viral phenomenon on X where these foreigners, Freddie from Germany and guy from South Africa and others, are going around America and they're blown away by it? And have you considered trying to get one of these viral guys to come to Missouri and promote how beautiful we are, too? I mean, they're down in Alabama talking about how beautiful it is there. I think it'd be great to have them make some stops here in Missouri, especially since we are hosting some of the World Cup games.
I think it's just a matter of time before something like Kansas City barbecue takes off. I think when some of our international visitors get to experience that, we're still a few days away from the first match in Kansas City, the first match on Tuesday the 16th with Argentina. We know there are already a nice contingent of international fans in Kansas City and in the region, and so when you try to go viral, you often fail, but when it happens organically, it's pretty cool. And it has been funny to see people. I'm not a big social media guy, but I've had a couple people show me things. And to me, the funniest thing is how our international visitors are enamored with ranch dressing. I think that's pretty fun.
And Buc-ee's and Bass Pro Shop and Walmart, they just can't get over it. I never thought to appreciate those places so much.
Yeah.
We have a Buc-ee's here in Missouri. Let's get the word out. Hey, come check it. We have got a great Bass Pro Shop. They should come check us out.
Yeah, absolutely. When from time to time we have occasion to host journalists from international markets or even tour company operators from international markets, and they are very excited. And it sounds weird to say, but they get very excited if someone needs a pertinent, something they've got to have, and they get to take a 10-minute detour and run into Walmart or to Buc-ee's or to Walgreens. They just think that's awesome.
That's so weird, but
that's
I love
Stephen Fouts. Did I get that right? Is it Fouts or Fotes? How do we pronounce your last name?
Fouts. Yeah, Fouts, the old San Diego
like the quarterback. Yeah, okay. I want to make sure we got it right. He's the director of the Division of Tourism here for Missouri. Visit mo.com for those of you who have friends or foreign or domestic who want to visit Missouri. It's a beautiful site with caves and Katy Trail, Gateway Arch, beer, Route 66, and barbecue on that homepage. It's a dandy. Visit mo.com. He joins us on Wake Up Missouri.
Steve, talk to us about the gas prices being kind of artificially inflated right now. Is that a good thing for you guys in staycations?
That's another great question. I think sometimes it can be a little bit of a double-edged sword, right? We want people. Missouri is a drive-to destination. Of course, we have wonderful world-class airports across the state. And we've seen expansion of those airports in Columbia. We've seen expanded services, with the flights to London and to Germany out of St. Louis, the new terminal in Kansas City. Springfield has a wonderful airport. But as a drive destination, we kind of like to see those fuel prices go a little bit lower because we know people are going to fill up at the same time when auto gas prices go up. Of course, the price of jet fuel goes up, which makes airline travel a little more expensive. So it can be a little bit of a double-edged sword, but we want people to get out and enjoy. And quite honestly, we know that, people have a lot of choices to make with their dollars. But one of the things everybody seemingly wants to do is to have a getaway, to enjoy a vacation experience. And, if folks are able to do that and to use their discretionary dollars for travel, they generally don't mind spending a few extra bucks at the pump if that means they're going to enjoy a weekend or a week away.
Well, hey, all best wishes to you and your team as you staff that great Missouri representation.
Yeah, will you get to go?
I'm not going. Our team we've got a team of about 10 or 11 people that's going to be out there. One of my deputy directors is going to be there for the entire 17-day duration. So we're sending staff out in kind of two waves, if you will, and everybody's looking forward to it.
Yeah, lucky duckies! What a great time to go visit DC right now. That's awesome.
All right, hey, we appreciate you being with us, Stephen. And again, it's visitmo.com if you want to stay up and refer people who are maybe visiting aunts, uncles, cousins, or whatever, maybe a little family reunion here. Let's talk it up. It's a great place to live, a great place to vacation, and we thank you for getting the word out, Steve. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Thanks for plugging the website.
Oh, yeah, any day. Proud to do that. Well, we talked about beer, barbecue at Route 66, from IPA to IPO. That coming up on the Morning Bell in just a few.
It's Wake Up
Well, it is time for the morning bell. Let's see what's happening with all that's going on around the world. What's happening in the markets? Jennifer, in for Steph.
Wall Street had a big rebound yesterday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average surged about 930 points to close at 50,848. The S&P 500 rose 1.8%, and the NASDAQ had the strongest move of the three, climbing 2.5% to 25,809. Now, this rally came as investors got more optimistic about the possibility of a U.S.-Iran peace deal, which helped cool some of the recent anxiety over oil supplies and geopolitical risk. Tech and chip stocks also helped lead the market higher. This morning, the futures are pointing mostly higher, yet still, though they've been moving around. As of the early pre-market hours, Dow futures were up around 4 to 0.7%, and the S&P futures were modestly higher. Oil is down sharply this morning, which is helping market sentiment. And the biggest market story today is SpaceX. SpaceX is going public in what is being reported as the largest IPO ever, initial public offering. And so this is a private company going public and letting ordinary people buy shares. And a lot of people want to do so.
So shares of SpaceX start trading today on the NASDAQ for the first time in what is expected to be the largest public offering of stock ever. The IPO is expected to be priced at $135 per share and aims to raise $75 billion.
And Musk will be, the first trillionaire? Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So it's a historic day for markets. And this is a historic company. I think people want to buy into a company that's doing big things. It's not just a rocket company. It does the reusable rockets, the engineers. They have the biggest geniuses on the planet working at this company. They have government and commercial space contracts. They do satellite internet. It's just a really exciting company to be a part of. And now, as of today, for $135, you can own a share of it.
So I got full transparency here. I'm really excited about this. I haven't invested in a stock since I was a resident in medical school, or, after medical school. And then I just started doing with my gal, who's a friend of mine that does some of our stuff, just mutual funds. That's all I do.
Index, yeah.
So I get called the other day and she says, we have a chance to get some of the... So I bought a few shares. I'm doing part of that. First time in my life we're done. I'm doing it. It's really fun. Why? When there were floods in North Carolina, when the citizens of Iran needed access, Elon Musk was there with Starlink.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's going to flood the skies with 100,000 satellites for communications and probably help with some of the military defense with Space Force. The guy is an innovator. I love rockets. I love innovation. I love the fact that he's helped out the people when they needed help.
He's helping us stay ahead of China.
So I'm just in for the fun of it, just to have a few shares, just to see what happens. I know it's going to take a bath. It'll come out at $135. Tomorrow you can probably buy it at half of that, but whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
Be a part of it. It'll be fun.
It might surge.
The story of how this, they interviewed about 4,000 of the initial employees, or, the early employees, are going to become millionaires overnight. Okay, that's cool.
Including a janitor or someone that worked as a cook or a chef.
All of you lefties who think that China and Russia and Cuba are wonderful places, ask if people who just work at a tech company over there can have that opportunity. No, they talked about this guy that came from TRW, a big space company. He didn't like all the regulations there. He came into Musk's SpaceX. He loved the energy of it. He could the freedom without the bureaucracy to do what they needed to do. They were almost out of money after the first few Falcon engines failed. They were almost bankrupt, and that one made it. It was the Falcon 4, I think. Now that Falcon 9 engine is the one that's propelling all of these rockets that then come back. That has become their workhorse since since 2008, and it's amazing. Falcon 9. That's currently flying. It's the most reliable rocket in history. So let's see what happens with it. I mean, it'll be interesting. Now, of course, the big institutional investors have most of the play, but 30% of the little people 30% of the stock are for little people. That's a big deal. Little people.
What were they saying?
Like Randy, I think little people.
Fox News reported that the average staffer at SpaceX was making anywhere from about $130,000 to $180,000 a year.
There you go. I mean, it's just a fantastic thing, and you gotta marvel at the aspiration that is Elon Musk. Yeah, he's a little kooky. He's a lot quirky.
He can be hard to work for. I've read his biography. He demands a lot, but he gets a lot done.
I'd love to work for Elon Musk. That guy.
I've been inspired. If you're inventing stuff that's changing the world, you would put in some extra hours.
Plus, remember coming out of COVID, he was carrying, he said, enough of the free meals all day, and everyone get back to work. You're going to be in the office. Yeah. You have a choice. Good for him. All right. That's that work ethic. Drake's going to go to work for Elon. He's got that work ethic, by golly, doesn't he?
If he wants to buy that Lego set, he'll go.
Winners and losers coming up on Wake Up Missouri.
is people.
Well, it's that time of the week and the day and the show when we bring you winners and losers. We ask for your nominations as well. The text line, 573-874-9390. And the phone line, 800-529-5572, if you'd like to weigh in on winners and losers. John Marsh, your nominations.
How about this? I've just got winners this week. I'm channeling Brian Hauswirth.
What, you get a transfusion from Hauswirth or what? What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. No, the one we talked about, the Sedalia area cop who's okay after he was swept away at a low water crossing because he was involved in a chase with a man who ran from police after his car couldn't make it through the same floodwaters. And 2 of the cop cars ended up stuck in the floodwater. And this cop got swept away by the high water, but he's doing fine, doing okay.
That's great.
How about this? Got to go with this guy, Eric Schmidt, co-MVP, Congressional Baseball Game with the...
I'm in awe.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. let me get that because we've got to go there and make sure
we have to.
Yeah, make sure that Eric gets his...
Giving up the nose, as we say in the business.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I had that sound, and it's not playing. But, boy, that's a dandy, isn't it? That was super good. He definitely is a winner of the week. Yep.
One more winner in the sports arena. The Knicks over the Spurs, 107-106, Game 4 of the finals after former Jefferson City J basketball OG Anunoby's tip-in.
Here's Eric Schmidt's famous catch.
That one struck to left field, and what a dive! Oh, what a great
Eric
play.
Schmidt. Amazing catch down the left field.
And he scraped up his nose, and he was on Laura Ingraham last night, a nice little divot out of his nose there, and he said he just rubbed some dirt in it and went on playing.
Yeah, he's definitely pleased, and I'm making Missouri proud. Good job,
He
Eric
was rocking
Schmidt.
the Redbirds cap in the ball game as well.
Representing.
Jennifer, what do you have?
Well, I've got a winner of the week. We didn't get to it, so I'll make him my winner. Jerry Seinfeld.
That's the older. Oh, Jerry Seinfeld. What up, Seinfeld? What up? Can we get a free Palestine? Can we get a free Palestine? Come on, give us one free Palestine.
It doesn't exist.
Ooh.
Like, he's gotten to the age, he's got the money, he could just say what he wants, and he's like, it doesn't exist. And that's
a
pretty
great comeback.
ballsy, yeah. And for loser, here is AOC. I think you had that pulled up. Her
Jerry
reaction.
Seinfeld has said again last night, Palestine doesn't exist. Do you think that's dangerous rhetoric for someone with such a big platform?
I mean, Jerry Seinfeld has been really horrific human being and an example when it comes to talking about the reality of the genocide that Israel has carried out. And I think when people prioritize their own people in the interest of harming others, it's very dangerous.
Well, direct from the Leering Center, Ilhan Omar.
He's a horrific human being. That's what she just called Jerry Seinfeld, a horrific human being, a guy that's brought laughter and joy to millions of Americans for his whole career. And this is a trend that we see with high-profile Jewish Americans who aren't Israelis, by the way, getting harassed over this issue that's going to be off-putting and scary. And it's clearly people that don't like the Jews. They're asking Jewish Americans and harassing them with these kind of questions. And then talking about him like he's done something wrong. There technically isn't a country called Palestine, right? Like, that's not wrong.
There's a historical place called Palestine.
It was a region.
So the question is, though,
it was called Judea.
Where are these so-called citizen journalists asking the follow-up question? Representative Omar, what would you call what happened on October 7th?
Yeah.
What would you happen to call a group of people who have consistently, repeatedly, from many fronts, but Hamas among them, want to eradicate every Jew from the face of the planet? You don't think that's aspirational genocide? And it's been carried out with terrorist attacks for years and years and years?
It's in their actual, their plan is to eradicate Israel and the Jews. From the river to the sea. They're the ones that want to commit genocide. The Israelis have been trying to minimize civilian casualties this entire time to protect themselves from another October 7th. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I can't stand her voice even, Ilhan Omar. What a loser. She's my loser of the week.
I agree.
I put her on every week.
I agree. Drake, what do you have? Producer Drake.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying. I had a feeling I did see his name in the Epstein list, and I just wanted to confirm that. I don't think anything serious is there. But my one winner of the week is a community in British Columbia. I think that's the Providence up there in Canada. But the community, they searched for this dog that got lost after a couple had their car rolled over in an accident. So they went about trying to find it. It took 96 hours after their crash when they were reunited with their Australian Shepherd. So good job, Canada.
How cool. Oh.
And go Knicks.
That's cool. Okay, good. All right, Brian Hauswirth.
Randy, I'm going to let you go first. I'll defer to the gentleman from Boone here, and then I'll...
Oh, well, I just have a short list because we've already covered Senator Schmidt. But I want to give a shout-out and say that the winners are those two Apache pilots who had a drone burning, smoking in between their, according to the president, the drone lodged somewhere in between these two guys sitting in the pilots of the Apache over there in the Strait, and they brought it to a safe landing in the water. They then were rescued by sea drones, so the winners are the company that developed and the military that deployed those sea drones, as well as those two Apache pilots. Good for them. And the DOT for timely work in and around Columbia, including I can get to work a little quicker because of that exchange at Grindstone and Lamone. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Zimmer is the winner of the week because that exit's back open, baby.
Great. Thank you, DOT guys and gals. Appreciate that. And big losers, I think, are Carmela Anthony's supporters who... I understand maybe if there's a Christian grace and hope for redemption for him in a different way. But in terms of those people who are excusing away his behavior, including Jasmine Crockett and others, and they just want to say, well, Jasmine Crockett, we played it yesterday. She said, well, he only stabbed him 2 inches once. He didn't do it 5 or 6 times after all. I mean, this is where we're at. Culturally, anyone who supports non-accountability for that young man, I'm sorry, I think you're a loser. Brian, you're up next.
All right, Randy, thanks so much, and I appreciate it. And what folks Randy referred to on Lamone Industrial, I just put new photos up. LG Patterson's out there at 939theeagle.com. I encourage people to look at those new photos of Lamone Industrial Drive. So I've just got a couple of winners here to pass along. First and foremost, Mike and Rocky Alden. Mike and Rocky are the community leaders who are helping to really organize the big 68th annual Olivet Barbecue, one of the biggest barbecue events of the year. It's tomorrow from 3 to 6. I'll talk more about that in a second, but they've done a great job, as Mike Alden said, part of the fabric, if you will, of Boone County. They're doing a nice job on that, and the food will be absolutely delicious. I do have to second what Randy said about the Grindstone Parkway. Folks, if you have Dart in South Columbia, it's hard to imagine how big this project is. This has been talked about for years. The traffic's been horrendous. Trying to go from Walmart, let's say, on to 63 was nothing but a nightmare for many of us. You literally could not take a right out of Lamone Industrial. It just was impossible at certain times of the day by the Courtyard by Marriott. I would say recommend looking at 939theeagle.com, CLG's photos, but a great job on that. And my final winner, Michael Parks. He is the Columbia Regional Airport Manager, and he is going to be with Fred Perry tomorrow in studio. And Randy, a quick follow-up. I talked about this last week. I have a trivia question, and I'm going to open up the phones right now. I've got one ticket to give away. This is about the Skidmore Bully, folks, and I know that a lot of you are interested in this. I've got one ticket to give away, but you need to be able to come to the studio by 4 o'clock today if you want to get this. If you can't, don't call in. But the question is this. You know the town was Skidmore. That was the trivia question last week. My question is this. Who was the 60 Minutes correspondent, well-known correspondent, who traveled to Northwest Missouri to report on the Skidmore Bully? Award-winning journalist who was the 60 Minutes correspondent who traveled to Skidmore, Missouri to profile the Skidmore Bully project. 573-874-9390. Drake has the phone number open right now. First person wins a ticket, and you need to be able to pick the ticket to the Olivet Barbecue tomorrow, which is a great event, and you need to be able to pick it up by 4:00 today. But great stuff. Randy and Jen sounding great as always.
Thank you, Mr. Brian Hauswirth. All right.
All this barbecue talk today is making me hungry. And Buc-ee's, or all the clips of the foreigners looking at all the Walmart food and their sizes.
So tonight we have some more rain, but then what? The next couple days, it looks like some cloudiness, at least in mid-Missouri. I haven't seen the Springfield area forecast.
The Columbia forecast, there actually could see some storms tomorrow night. The barbecue will be, the barbecue is going to be okay. That's from 3 to 6 Olivet Barbecue. We have a potential for some severe storms in Columbia and Jeff City tomorrow night, roughly between 9 and 11. We've had about 15 inches of rain since May 1st. Springfield saturated as well. You can't get into, you know this from being down at KWTO a couple weeks ago. You can't get into a body shop right now to get your the hail on your car fixed, because they had 2 unbelievable hailstorms, and they've had flooding. It's just been a miserable weather-wise spring so far.
It's all Tony Lupo's fault with that darn El Nino.
That's right.
I wonder if that's why all the turtles are on the road. Because the ground being
ran over
suicidal turtles everywhere. Have you guys noticed this?
Yeah, I have. Actually, there's also people that say that I've not been able to confirm this. The turtles, yes. But people are saying that they've seen a bear in South Columbia as well.
Wow. No way.
That's on Reddit.
I don't know. Well, Reddit.
Who knows how accurate? Yeah. But that
was he eating a turtle?
No, but walking down a neighborhood. If it's true, I've got conservation checking into it. But the Randy's right. The rain has just been.
I'm going to unfriend Lupo if he doesn't straighten this out.
Stop seeding the clouds. Is that what he should do?
Exactly. The last thing I'll say, Randy.
Less of those trails.
He's going to be on the losers list if this doesn't get straight. Let me tell you.
The National Weather Service in St. Louis has to be sick of me calling them. It seems like I call them 3 times a day. Hopefully they won't hear from me for a while.
I don't know. Looks like some storms in the forecast for at least central Missouri next week again.
And I think those should be, the one tomorrow is a little concerning. I think next week should be okay, but you never know.
I don't know, man. Helene's been out of town for a few days, and I was gonna have her experience the wonderful nature of freshly mown grass when she returns, but that may not be possible.
It may not be. Drake, did we get a winner? Okay.
All right, we'll talk about that and wrap it up with leftovers when we come back. Stay tuned.
It's Wake Up Missouri.
I think about players taking a knee during the national anthem. I think that the very thing that they're taking a knee on, I think is not being taken in consideration. I think everyone's kind of focusing on the flag and the national anthem opposed to what's really the cause of why he's taking a knee.
What do you think of the NFL players taking a knee during the national anthem? I think the cause behind it is true, but I don't like the execution of it.
What do I think about NFL players taking a knee during the national anthem? I don't think that's the right forum to take a knee. I think there's a lot of issues that needs to be addressed. I don't know that particular forum is the right one.
What do I think about NFL players taking a knee during the national anthem? I think there's better ways to make a point, make a statement. Maybe use some of your millions of dollars you spend on mansions and cars and actually put it towards a cause. Use your time and effort in changing something. I don't think kneeling on a field is going to change anything except be divisive.
What do I think about the NFL players taking a knee during the national anthem? It's a form of peaceful protest. I think they're open to do, whatever they would like to do. So, they're just viewed in a higher standard than everybody because of the platform that they play on, and I don't feel like that's completely fair to them being able to use their freedom of speech.
What do I think of the NFL players taking a knee during the national anthem? Protest is the foundation of our country. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, those players are going to have to be accountable to their employers. They're going to have to work that out. Some people are going to be mad about people taking knees. I don't know. I take knees. I stand up. That's how I worship, so that's it.
All right.